Hello, everyone. I just wanted to check in with everyone going into the new year. And for those who couldn't make our meetings this week, just kind of send you off with some positive things to think about going in the new year. So I wanted to start off with a positive affirmation by Morgan Harper Nichols. I'm going to read it through slowly, and I want you to try to think about what stands out to you the most and what might you want to bring into the new year with you from this affirmation. I am proud of the ways I've learned to grow and let go. I am free to feel what I need to feel for everything that happened this year. I am free to be gentle with myself as I work through those feelings. I am grateful for the progress I've made this year in learning when to say no and when to say yes. I am grateful for the good music that found me this year. Just because I've been the strong one doesn't mean I have to stay in that state forever. I am free to embrace gentleness. I am free to rest. Through all the mountains and valleys I've traveled through this year, when I look back on the 2022 chapter of my life, I will see all the ways I've grown. I will see all the ways I've learned to create room to breathe. I am grateful for every opportunity I've had to grow in empathy and compassion. The progress I've made, no matter how small, are integral parts of my growth. No matter what awaits me in 2023, I will continue to breathe deep. I will travel through each day seeking big and small ways to practice peace. So thank you for joining me in that. I also want to review kind of all that we've learned as a support group in 2022. Meeting twice a week for a whole year does add up to a lot of topics. And on top of, having learned about these topics, we've also had such great opportunities to get to know one another for open discussion, to tell our stories, to share our experiences, to learn from one another, to grow together. So it's not all in the topics we've covered, but just the fellowship we've had this past year, and just to see how much the support group has grown. And I know there's been people with me from the beginning too. So that all to say, I'm grateful for all of you for showing up. And these are just some of the topics we've covered and learned about together. So we've had many community resources come and present at the group, including the Ohio Area Agency on Aging, Help Me Grow program, Ohio Kinship and Adoptive Navigator program, National Alliance for Mental Illness, Ohio Family Care Association, Ohio Grandparent Kinship Coalition, Ohio Coalition for the Education of Children with Disabilities, and the Clintonville Beechwood Community Resource Center. A lot of resources on these organizations can be found on our website, or you can go to these organizations' websites as well. But I'm grateful for all the partners we've had join us this past year. We've also had a wide range of speakers come and talk about different topics. So these are just some of the topics that we've covered together. We've talked about caring for a child with a disability, legal rights and advocacy in schools, family communication, cyber safety, positive parenting strategies. We've talked about this in a lot of different ways. Mindfulness. We've had 3 different mindfulness sessions the past year. We always talk a lot about self-care. Child and teen vaping. We had 2 great presentations with PAVE. Advocacy 101 with Ohio Grandparent Kinship Coalition. We talked about sensory supports for children on 2 different meetings with a OT occupational therapist. Choosing a school, and this is with the Ohio Statewide Family Engagement Center. Kinship benefits with Bailey Butler from Ohio Legal Aid. Understanding a child's behavior. We've had quite a few different presentations on this. Parenting with the brain in mind. Child well-being and resilience. How to connect to your children. Regulating your emotions as a caregiver. And then, of course, the series we've started with Dr. Crumbly, where we talked about attachment, identity, healing, and legacy, where we had 2 in-depth meetings on all of these topics, and we'll continue into 2023. So it's very cool to see just how much we can learn in a year. And like I said, I appreciate you all being here for the ride. Something I want to encourage you to think about, on Tuesday, our question was, what's one thing you want to leave behind in 2022 and take into 2023? So that's one thing you can think about. And my example is I'd like to leave my kind of people pleasing, um, I don't know, compulsion where I'm always looking to please people and not really thinking about what's best for myself. So I'm going to try to leave that behind. And in 2023, I just want to make more space for self-care and to do things for myself and really just take the moments in as much as I can. And now you can think about what your one word for 2023 is. So really thinking about that one thing you might want to focus on or bring into your life. And I think my word would be pace, just learning to pace myself. And you all can think about what you would want this to be for yourself and maybe write it down somewhere. Overall, I really just want to wish everyone here happy holidays, a happy new year. I know there's a snowstorm coming up, so I hope everyone stays safe and sound with their families and can hopefully see some of their loved ones. I hope you take this time to relax as much as you can, practice as much self-care as you can too. I know sometimes time with family is not always the most enjoyable and it can bring up a lot of things as well. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself and maybe even setting some boundaries if you need to. But I hope we can, and you can just take a minute to recognize all you've grown the past year, how strong you are as a caregiver, and just know that you're not alone. You always have a place in this group if you need us. And overall, I just wish you a happy new year. And I hope that you can come whenever you can make the meetings. But more than that, just really connect to the supports around you and make sure you're taking care of yourself. So thank you so much for being here. Kinship Caregivers Connect would not be the same without you. And I hope you take care and I'll see you in 2023.